It has been some time since I have looked at a mini tablet. This is a 7.9-inch one, which is the FNF iFive Mini 4S. That has a Retina screen in there. It's actually the iPad mini screen. So it's got the 2048 by 1536 resolution. That is, of course, 4:3 ratio. Now, this particular model here retails for around about 140 US, so it's a budget tablet. At least it has a decent screen on there. And I picked this one up here from yoshop.com. They're a relatively new store that I'm just trying out. So they sent me the package out, you can see, with just DHL box, the packet around it. And it hasn't got any bubble wrap or anything around that, which is a little disappointing. So their packaging I would have to rate as quite poor, because they've just put that in the bag, really. And I've already pre-opened that. Off camera, I just wanted to check and make sure it was the tablet, because I'm waiting for a mobile phone and I thought it might have been that. So there's the box of it. So other specs of this tablet include a Rockchip 3288. Now that's a quad core that can turbo up to 1.8 gigahertz. Has a Mali T760 GPU. So that it's not exactly high end, but it is only 140 US approximately at the moment, the retail price of this. The battery is 4,800 milliamp hours, and it is running Android 6. So I'm hoping at least, okay, they are low-end specs, but at least this should be a relatively good tablet just for minor tasks. I don't expect it to be a gaming beast, especially with that resolution there. Looks like it hasn't actually sustained any damage. There's a little bit of a crease there on the box, but it should be okay. Unless I get some sort of surprise and its screen's broken. Hopefully not. So I'll put the tablet aside for a second. See what else is included in the box. So obviously we have a cable, which is micro USB 2. I was hoping for Type-C. And then our power adapter here, which is a EU one, which is good to see. And that is rated to 5 volts, 2 amps. That's pretty much standard there. There looks to be nothing else apart from a quick guide here, which is in English, so that's good. Often these are just Chinese, but it's Chinese and English. Alright, so just check the weight of it. It doesn't feel that bad at all. 335 grams, possibly a little bit heavier, of course, than the plastic builds, because this is all actually made out of metal. Okay, so that screen looks almost like it's fully laminated. I'll check that when I power it on. So up the front here, we have a 2 megapixel camera that is centered right in the middle, just like an iPad. And along the bottom, I can see 2 downwards firing speakers. I'll test that out later on in this video. Along the left-hand side, there's absolutely nothing. Now, this is made out of a black alloy. Got quite a good feel to it. On the rear, we have the 5 logo there for iFive. And top and bottom looks to be either plastic or, I would say plastic probably. I don't think that's glass. But we do have a 8 megapixel rear-facing camera. And just a few things along here. The iFive Mini 4S, of course, to let you know which model it is. And on the right side, there are a couple of buttons right here. These feel like they're made out of metal. They certainly look it. They're a little bit loose. There's a bit of play to them, but it's not too bad considering the price of this. So along the top here, we have the power on button, of course, then a micro SD card slot, micro USB 2 there for data and charging, 3.5mm headphone jack, and a microphone. And still metal along this top part there. So the whole frame and the back, it's made out of metal. This thing feels real solid. I'm just giving that a bit of a flex there. There's no flex in that. It feels really, really good. So I'll get this powered on. And it actually felt a small little vibration there. So it does have a haptic feedback motor in there, which is often something you don't see, especially in this price range. Okay, so this ROM looks as if it is actually just stock. And wow, no bloatware. Well, that's almost a first. That's good to see. This is really set up just like stock Android, like a Nexus tablet. Very nice indeed. No bloatware, no custom launcher on there. So Play Store was there, of course. And let's have a look and see what we have under storage. So it has almost 6 gigabytes used of the 32 gigabytes. So we've got at least some room on there to install large games and all your applications and everything. And then of course you have that micro SD card slot where you can at least add your own music collection or whatever. And have a look quickly at what version of Android this is running, which says 6 on the box, and it is 6.0.1. So that ROM looks very nice. Now the performance of this I will have to of course test out later on in my full review, but the screen, that is actually fully laminated, so very good. It does look nice. Let's see if the auto rotate is working. That was working fine. So fully laminated. I honestly did not expect to see a fully laminated screen, especially in this category and price of tablet. Closer look at that screen. It does look really nice and sharp. I mean, this has a PPI of 667. At the moment, it is at maximum brightness, and that dims right down, very dim indeed. So that would be good for nighttime late use without blinding yourself and burning your retinas out. So all your standard toggles there. And the battery, I'm a little bit concerned about how long that battery is actually going to last, considering it's only 4,800 milliamp hours, and it is driving a rather high resolution for this particular GPU and chipset. But I will have to check that out later on in my full review. Of course, I will be back with details on that. Now, if you want to see what the screen looks like in person, you can simply just go down to your nearest Apple store or an electronics store that has Apple products. Take a look at the iPad Mini 3 or Mini 4, I think it is. It's got the same exact screen in there. Very nice panel. You can see the deep blacks. It has good colors, and that is playing that perfectly fine. No problems playing 4K. The color reproduction looks quite good to me. Deep blacks. A very nice sharp panel. Alright, so I'm going to have a listen to those speakers now. I just wanted to also mention that the touch accuracy of the screen seems really good. Just go into YouTube and have a listen to Carbon-Based Lifeforms. Just play a track here quickly, and we'll have a listen to how those speakers sound. Okay, so they have a little bit of volume to them, but you could hopefully hear then that they distort. There's some vibration coming from the chassis from those speakers. So all in all, they sound pretty average to me. I would say that the Mi Pad 2 speakers are a lot better sounding. They actually sound quite good on the Mi Pad 2, quite loud too. These ones definitely aren't a match for those speakers. I can see here already that the housing, the metal matte finish that it has on there, is a complete fingerprint and smudge magnet. I mean, I've only just been touching this thing literally for 10 minutes, and look at it, it's all got fingerprints and marks all over it. Not really that good at all. Oh, it is actually quite humid here at the moment, which is probably making it look a bit worse. Now, I'm just as curious as you are. How does this rock chipset perform? So here we have the Antutu 6.2.7 score, 51,000. So that is not breaking any records. It's not particularly fast. You can see the main weakness is the 3D score there. So the GPU is probably the, I would say, the bottleneck of this particular tablet here. The CPU score there of 17,000, that's not too bad. Probably helped by the fact that it is a quad core. I'll have more tests coming up soon, like I'll have gaming review of this as well probably, just to see how well it's going to perform, or at least include some gaming in the final review too. I've just had GPS on, trying to actually see if it will pick up a location, but it seems that this tablet does not support GPS, sadly. I thought it might do with that chipset, but it seems not the case here, because you can see I'm not picking up anything. Quick look at the camera here, so that's the front-facing camera. Just see me there all right. Now, it looks average quality. I'm a little bit blurred. There isn't too many details. It could be perhaps on the darkish kind of side here. I'll swap over to the rear camera, which does have autofocus there, which is something. But 8 megapixels, I'm not really expecting decent photos out of a tablet, especially around the 140 US mark. Alright, so that's the iFive 4S, and I must say there's a few surprises with this here, and they're good surprises. First up, the screen is fully laminated, did not expect that, and the ROM, it has a stock launcher on there, and it doesn't have any bloatware whatsoever. Now, normally these tablets would come crammed with at least 5 or 6 or 7 Chinese applications and all sorts of other crap that we don't need or is not relevant to us that we need to uninstall if they will let us do that. Don't have to worry about this. So it's a very light ROM. You've got maximum free available space. Now it's good to see that it has micro SD card support, which the Mi Pad 2 doesn't, which puts off a lot of people. And the other thing is the build quality too. Very good. It has a full alloy housing on there. And really, it's shaping up to look like a decent tablet for the price if you're after an Android 6 tablet with a nice screen on it. So far, this could be the one. Now, things that do concern me so far. Performance. Okay, I don't know how well the Mali T760 is going to be able to handle this resolution with Android games. I will check that out in the full review. The other thing as well is battery life. This screen was probably quite a taxing and demanding screen. No doubt that will probably have a big impact on the battery, but I will again check that in the full review. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to catch you back with the review later on in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.